Welcome to Shrouded Realities, the show where we talk about everything and a lot of nothing and things we probably shouldn't be talking about.
Yeah, we've lost a lot of friends already, so.
Yeah.
Not really.
I'm just kidding.
I haven't lost them.
I'm the coolest guy at a party now because of this show.
Yeah.
I haven't lost friends from it, but I've had people who think of me differently ever since I've started this.
Yeah.
I lost my family in the house, so.
Yeah, and my family worries about me.
Yeah. In what sense, of being hurt, or you just going off the deep end?
Both.
Yes. Yes.
Starting a cult.
Yeah, I mean,
start a cult.
I mean, we're going over all the ways not to do it, so.
That's right.
It's true.
So you're getting all the good stuff.
Or are we perfecting the way to be a cult?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we know what way not to go. We know what to avoid.
You know what a real cult leader would do?
Yeah.
Is he would give everybody the idea of this is where you stay away from, but he's secretly learning the entire time.
Well, that's
because
what they do.
they're master manipulators.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do.
So,
they just throw it out, say, hey, they think I'm a cult.
I've been working on my crazy eyes, so we'll see how it goes.
Just don't sleep for a day and you got it.
That's right.
Today's episode, Connor called it shower thoughts, which made me uncomfortable.
It's just, when you're in the shower and,
Lifting.
your day is ending, you're by yourself.
I mean, I get shower
You know
thoughts.
what I mean?
I just don't want to think about you in the shower.
That's right.
Why not? It's
Just
beautiful.
lifting. We're just lifting the shroud.
It's like that scene from Step Brothers. I haven't had a carb since 2004. That's what I look like. Just kidding. I'm fat.
Just lift the shroud.
Where's
That's it.
Toby?
That's
Shrouded shower thoughts. Say that 5 times fast.
Can't.
The kilt of shrouded realities.
Yeah. Anyway,
Take a peek.
Yeah, take a peek. It's dark.
today we're coming in with really nothing. We just want to talk about the show. It's our 20th episode,
Yeah.
Yep.
which
It's a big
seems
deal.
big to us.
That's huge to us.
Joe Rogan Snickers.
Yeah.
We're about
Everybody else
We're about
laughs.
2,500 behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
We're a
right.
long way behind, but this is where we're at
Yeah.
in the show's history. So we kind of want to talk about what we've done so far.
I mean,
and
20 is a big deal.
It is.
Yeah. That's a lot of man
When we
hours.
were researching this show and, our thoughts about doing it, the average is 5. Was it 4 or 5?
I think it was 4.
Yeah.
The average length of a podcast is 4 episodes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we have the numbers of 4 episodes, but as far as people that listen, but that's a big deal to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with what we've got. to be
I
I
honest
know,
with you.
right?
Everybody's been really cool.
It's
really-
a
really
train
awesome.
moving real slow, but it's
It
going
is.
to hit a hill.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
what
gonna-
I heard about the podcast world. It's a slow grind.
Yeah.
You got to be in it for the long
You got to
haul.
find
Even the big
pocket of-
dogs.
Yeah.
You look at their first few episodes and it's horse garbage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and we're still in the horse garbage phase, but that's okay.
I don't know. We get it.
You think you're
I
one leg out?
I like to just let's sell ourselves a little short here.
So
Yeah.
I was proud of ourselves up until episode 18.
Okay.
Like what we had in episode 17, I was like, dude, this is solid.
Yeah.
And then Zach walks in with some lighting and cameras.
With
and
what
said,
you see today.
Yeah. He's like,
And we're like, come
you
on.
ain't got nothing. And
Yeah.
then we changed. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of what it's been, just incremental. We
Yeah.
didn't even have video in the first, how many episodes?
8, I think.
Yeah.
7 or 8.
So we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a slow grind, like we said, but
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
But so we did get an investor this week.
Did.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal.
Kind of
Mhm.
a really big deal. Shout out to our investors. Going to hook us up.
Yep.
We're going to get our own. We've been borrowing the stuff to make us next level.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we won't have to. Please, sir, can I have some more?
Buy some merch.
Can
I can't feed my family.
No, we still
No,
need
we
the merch.
still need
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still begging for
Sorry.
the merch, but
Let
we're
me-
not begging for
we
equipment.
may have someone who invested.
Yeah.
We are still going to need other things.
Yeah.
but-
Thankfully, we all have full-time jobs, so this isn't.
Yeah.
We're not struggling that bad.
Yeah,
That's
this has
right.
just been a hobby for me.
Yeah.
It's
And it's a
been a
fun hobby.
It is a blast. Yeah, this is our therapy session too.
That's right.
You get to
I
talk
look
about,
forward to getting together and just talking about whatever we're going to talk about that
Yeah.
day. It's
That was
fun.
Decompress.
and this episode too. I was fired up about
Yeah,
like
I am too.
I
Just
don't-
a relaxed,
Just
a-
like
Yeah.
thought, like a thought train. You
not
know.
being
may just need to-
confined to a certain idea.
We may just make this like seasons. This is season 1, so we're hitting the end of season 1 here with 20 episodes.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's like every 20 episodes we do a little follow up.
Yeah, we'll do a little follow-up
Where we're
episode of
at.
like, this is where we were and
This is
where
the
we are
dumb things
today.
we said in the previous
Yeah,
20
and
episodes.
We're going to cover
Yep.
some of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do
If
wanna
I can
talk-
remember, I have amnesia or something. I don't
Yeah,
remember anything.
I'm going to need somebody else to be like, can you believe this guy said that? Yeah.
And I have found that too. Like you can go back and listen to our past episodes, even though they wasn't that long ago. and it's like I'm watching somebody else's show because
Yeah.
I forget what we talked about.
Yeah.
Crap, I forget what we're doing by the time the next episode releases. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait,
That's
what
not
did we
me.
talk about?
That's AI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be.
I'm gonna do that too. I just just wipe my slate.
I've
clean.
got to blank slate it, or I'm gonna not be
It's gonna
prepared for
blow
the
up.
next episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what else. T-shirt giveaway. Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
We want to do a T-shirt giveaway.
Yep.
One of our shirts on shroudedrealities.com on the website. You can check it out.
What sizes do we have?
Everything right now.
All of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're almost out of larges, but we've got enough to do a giveaway.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think we're still good.
Okay.
But we're going to go on Facebook, like our page. Is that right? Follow
Yeah.
our page?
So you got to be a follower of our page.
Yep.
I would like it if you would subscribe to all of the other platforms too.
Yep.
But
Not necessarily the.
that's not part of the giveaway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make a post that's got our shirt on it.
Yep.
Go find that post, like it, and then you have to share it. You
Mhm.
follow all of those steps, your name's gonna be drawn in the hat.
And
or
if you
drawn out of the hat.
if you've got a burning idea for us to talk about, throw that in there
Yeah,
too.
throw that in there too.
Yeah, in the comment section.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Comment where you're listening from.
Yep.
That'd be cool too.
That's
Yeah.
what you show me today. Who we got?
We
New
got some
Zealand?
New Zealand picked up.
Dude, I
man.
want to go to New Zealand.
Yeah, that's right.
How
Mhm.
cool would that be?
I mean, I
Land.
think we got like 3 people in New Zealand that are just hot on some Shrouded Realities.
Yeah, and the only thing I know about New Zealand is that's where the Hobbits and
The Lord of the Rings
Lord of
was
the Rings was filmed. So,
Yeah.
Go see.
There's a bunch of Tobys on screen.
yeah,
That's right.
They're built like Tobys.
maybe that's why they like the show.
Maybe that's-
Maybe.
Maybe they're real Hobbits in real life,
Yeah.
and they
I'm-
just relate with us.
So the
you're
opposite of
saying-
Nephilims.
they're hobbits.
The opposite of the Nephilims.
I don't know.
Are we saying New Zealand is heaven and that's where angels are? Is that the rational thought now?
It's so far away from everything. I mean, it's so small. Maybe that's the
It's a
retreat.
place to hang out.
Yeah.
I
I don't know.
don't know.
Hey,
But,
I'll never be able to afford to go there, so I'll never know.
It blows my mind that somebody in another country wants to listen to our show.
I don't know that they wanted to, but they clicked it.
They do.
They
They
did.
did.
just swipe.
Yeah.
Swipe.
Yeah.
Dang it! I didn't mean to click.
I meant to
that
go
one.
to Joe Rogan.
No, if
That-
we're right next to Joe Rogan on the algorithm,
Mm.
We've done something.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
Sick.
don't think that's happening, but
Get
Yeah.
yourself a free shirt. Do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
It
Get in
takes
there.
it takes you 30 seconds.
yeah. So
And
we'll
you
wait
get
till
entered.
this show goes out, which is usually about 2.5 weeks,
Mhm.
and then once you're hearing
To the
hearing
people?
this,
To the people, that's that day.
yeah,
Yeah.
Same
So
day.
that Monday release day.
It's hard to get used to.
It is. Yeah, to us, we're speaking to people 2 weeks in,
In
the
the
future.
future.
But yeah,
Does that make us time
it
travelers?
does. 100%.
In a sense, yeah. That's like the 8th dimension.
That's fancy.
It's the 8th dimension. We skipped all the other ones.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a thing.
They say there's like 40 dimensions, but I don't know. I don't
Who
care.
says? Who's they?
Scientists.
Scientists don't know
Scientist.
nothing.
This science.
Come on, Fauci.
Neil deGrasse
Anthony,
Tyson.
Anthony Fauci actually said that when he said he was the science. He said in the 40th dimension, this would make sense.
And
you
that
get-
makes more sense than the crap he was
Yeah.
putting
When you
out.
get
You
the
won't-
shot, you transcend the 4th dimension.
Yeah.
You
hit the
become
40th.
fractal with the universe.
That's how the jab worked. Is you didn't get COVID in the 40th dimension.
Yep.
In our dimension, you could still get COVID, but
Yeah.
you were helping out your 40th dimension people.
And in this dimension, you get the jab and you get heart problems.
Yeah, in this one, you just
Yeah,
end
that's
up,
the
You end up with
downside.
myocarditis, but you know,
That's not official. We're gonna get another tag.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine.
I like it. It's like a badge of honor.
Yeah,
almost.
we get the little Wikipedia
Mhm.
fact check.
Remember
Wikipedia.
when Wikipedia was like, don't listen to Wikipedia. It's garbage. It's not real. And now it was like, look at Wikipedia. Everything's
Well,
real.
Yeah.
Wasn't that because of Julian Assange or whatever?
Probably.
Because he was a whistleblower, and then the government was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you shouldn't listen to him because he whistleblew on something, and Wikipedia is garbage."
Yeah.
Hmm.
They almost got him killed.
Maybe that's a topic.
Yeah.
We're just
Yeah.
that's how that works for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about anything conspiracy theory. I
I love it.
I've come across a few that I want to dive into.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to get back in the food one again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
There's
I've
so
been
much
There's a
more
res-
there.
There's a resurgence of that. It seems that everybody's really paying attention to
Mhm.
food stuff right
Yeah.
now too.
Yeah, Rogan had a couple of
Mm-hmm.
a couple of shows recently. One of them's got I can't remember their names. I'll look it up. I'll share it on on YouTube. But it's a former surgeon and her brother that's a lobbyist.
Mm.
He was a big food lobbyist, and they both just said screw it.
They flip.
They flipped. They was like, this is too dirty. I couldn't sleep at night with
How do
what
you
was going
become
on.
a big food lobbyist? Like, where do you send your application for that job?
Well, he started out in politics, and the food lobby was the biggest one. So that's what he went for.
That's so crazy to me. It's
Yeah.
like you're guaranteed, if you ever get voted in, you're guaranteed a job for life at that point.
Yeah.
That's nuts to me.
And that's how the system's screwed up. And that's what he exposes on multiple podcasts I listen to.
Because you're
but
buddies with
Rose was
everybody that's there. You've been hanging out with them for however long you were in office.
Yeah.
So then
Y'all
you can be
rich
like, hey,
and-
man, you know, look, the Red 40, it's not that big of a
Yeah.
deal.
Put me on
Right.
the FDA
Yeah.
board. I'll vote it in for
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Yeah.
Get a sweet
it's
vacation to Cancun. I mean, I'll set you up.
It's a dirty, dirty system. We're gonna dig into that again.
Mm.
That's gonna be an episode soon
Yeah.
for sure.
I
We're
hope.
just
I hope.
teasing it up.
I hope that if RFK, gets appointed, if Trump gets elected, that something actually happens to the food system.
Yeah, they say that RFK and Trump are really partnering hard on this and actually speaking out on this sort of thing because it may not trying to go too deep on an episode of nothing, but it's gross, like the stuff that they allow to go in the food.
Yeah. And then we have to pay so much money to eat garbage.
Yeah, and that's your only.
It's
option.
not even cheap anymore.
It's your only option.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
been
me
for
and-
the past week and a half.
Me and Joey's been
We've been trying to go no sugar and trying to read the ingredient list. Dude, it's
impossible.
everywhere. It's everywhere. You can't go without sugar, and it's for a reason. Did you know that the cigarette companies, when they started going out with, everybody realizing cigarettes were bad for you, that they started buying up food companies. Now they're using the stuff that they made to not the chemicals, but the advertising stuff that they used in cigarettes,
they're doing
advertising to
food.
make those. Yeah, they're doing the same thing with food to make food addictive and putting the chemicals in the food to make their food more addictive.
Mm.
So
and
are you
none
saying
of it's
like
good for
Lay's
you.
potato chips are owned by Marlboro? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Philip
right there?
Morris was a big one.
Philip Morris.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is a big. So I do want to. That's part of us digging in for our
Right,
show.
yeah.
I want to get a list.
I mean,
Well,
and on the
getting me
other hand
interested.
of that, just to sprinkle it in, it's like you want. I mean, the cigarette companies were like the basis of this country.
Yeah.
Tobacco, big tobacco has been there since day one.
Yeah. So what was going on in the 70s and 80s with big tobacco, and even before that, when doctors were saying stuff was good for you, that's happening now with food. I think in 30 years they're going to look back and be like, "Hey, gum, that's
They got us.
dirty." Yeah, they got us.
I have old Time magazines from the 40s where there's ads in there where it's like, my doctor says palm cigarettes are easier on the throat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
3 out of 4
Got it.
doctors prefer, Camels or whatever.
The best thing for bronchitis is Camel Unfiltered.
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
So
I
4
really,
out of 5 doctors say that.
But then here's on the other hand though, it's like there's a lot of people who used to, back in the day before all the chemicals and stuff, would smoke, but they would live forever.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
there was
what's
a
the evidence?
recent development where there was a lot more additives added to cigarettes too. There was, carpet adhesive was added, so it would.
Golly.
So that way, guys that would fall asleep with a cigarette in their mouth, it wouldn't burn them. It would go out before it would.
What?
Yeah.
They're just smoking it on in.
Why
I
can't
remember
there
when
be
I
just
was a
vegan
smoker.
cigarettes? Why do they gotta
Yeah.
be?
Back in the day when I was a smoker, everybody's like, "Oh, it's got carpet adhesive in it." I was like, "I don't care."
I
didn't care.
I'm just getting that buzz, brother.
Damn
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, like you said, like even with, and that's kind of where I'm getting at with my diet, and like it just there's nothing you can do about it.
So that's growing everything yourself, but then it's like, and then you
Yeah.
have to store it, and then you're eating
Yeah,
There's
what you
a-
stored.
Yeah, then you run into wintertime and dadgummit, I didn't can enough. I got to go get a can of green beans, and then
Yeah.
you've got
You grab some cosmic brownies or something.
yeah,
So-
but the food system is it'll get you. I mean, like it affects everybody differently.
Mhm.
Like you said, like I know some smokers that are 80, 90 years old and just puffing away.
And they've
They
been
don't-
smoking since they were 8.
Yeah, for a long, long time. So
Yeah.
But
But
then I
then-
know people that's been around their granddad who's been smoking
Yeah.
forever, and then they end up with lung cancer,
right.
and
Right.
he's fine. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's
yeah, it's.
that's a
Is
that's a
it,
tough
is it a
one.
testament to people now or cigarettes back then?
I think it's a God thing.
I do too.
I think it just
Hmm.
You're supposed to go and you're supposed to go, and maybe
Yeah.
That doesn't mean don't take care of yourself. Of course, you need to take care of yourself.
So what you're saying is,
there it is. I know where you're going.
you know where I'm going.
You want to jump in the cage?
Nope.
Good segue to the next topic I was going to bring up. Our religious stuff was kind of interesting.
That's where we get a lot of pushback.
Well, that's to be expected.
It is.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't want my house to be firebombed over it, but I mean, if there's a discussion opening up because of it, I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And that's the point of the show is to...
Yeah.
We're going to be wrong about things, and I know that.
Yeah.
And when you start getting into Christianity, there's so many points of view on every single angle of it. And my point of view may be different than Joey's point of view, but we're just here to have a conversation and bring ideas to the table more than anything.
Yeah.
And we've had people that were not happy that we said certain things. But bring your ideas to us. We would love to have those conversations.
Yeah.
Because we're not saying you're wrong.
No, not at all.
We're just looking at it. We're just looking at it how it is.
And I've even said things that I don't necessarily agree with, but it was just ideas that I wanted to get out for us to talk about. You know, just
I have to. Yeah.
And I think that with all the denominations there are, you know, you're gonna piss somebody off.
Yeah.
No matter what you say.
Yeah. With every denomination, like you're gonna be wrong regardless, depending on what perspective you come in with. So it's like, just why can't we just be in the middle? Look at everything.
That's where I
and go from there.
Yeah, that's where I want the show to live, is in the middle, like talk
in the
about
middle and talk about the extremes. That's kind of where I want to be.
That should have been our podcast name.
In the middle.
In the middle.
Living in the middle.
That's got to be taken.
That's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shrouded Realities is super.
But I mean, that's where we want to be. We want to be in the middle and discuss the two extremes on either side.
We want to look at things that are under the shroud. Lift the shroud up.
Lift it up.
Yeah.
Full frontal. Look at it.
Yeah.
I like looking at it full frontal. So what if we?
Keep going.
So what if we get to heaven and we're just all wrong? Everybody was wrong about the perspective of biblical text.
I've had that thought too.
Yeah, it's very possible.
My fear.
But the most important part, I don't think we're wrong about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something. There's one part, but the whole thing, like wrong about, like, could be wrong about certain parts of it.
Yeah.
Just from humans' perspective of it.
And I think that's inevitable given how many denominations there are.
Not every piece of it will be incorrect.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying we're looking at it wrong.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
We're not going to have every piece of it that we were incorrect about in context, but there will be things where we're like, oh, yeah, no, we were completely wrong about that. There will be things that pop up and you go, oh, that's not what I thought at all. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and even through this show, my faith has grown because of that.
Right.
Like I find things, have ideas that I thought I had, and then I'll find things in our research and be like, "Ooh, boy, that's an interesting twist."
That changes a
lot. Changes everything. Yeah. But I wouldn't say everything. It changes a lot.
It does change a lot, though.
Yeah.
The perspective I come from is like having that strong base and believing in Jesus, having faith in Jesus.
Yep.
What he did for us meant something,
and
then going from there.
Yeah, that's the best.
You got to have that foundational truth. I mean, that foundation is there for all of us in this room for sure.
Yeah.
The other stuff is added.
Yeah.
And I probably need to clear that up. It wasn't added, but it's
built on top of it.
Yeah, there you go. Because I'm talking about a foundation.
It muddies up the
it
main
muddies
passage.
up everybody's perspective. I mean, people talk about all kinds of stuff.
Even what we know about Jesus, who did he have the biggest conflicts with when he was
religious scholars of the day?
Yeah. And I don't think that's changed.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
and I'm not saying that, and this is where we tick people off, so I want to be clear now. I'm not saying that all religion or any religion is bad. I'm just saying
religion is bad, or
maybe
denomination is bad.
Both.
Okay.
You think
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it is. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that those things are bad.
Okay.
I'm saying
the fact that it's separated like that.
I'm saying that you need to do a lot of praying and do your own research.
Mm-hmm. Remove your human, what would you call it?
Bias.
Away from it.
Yeah, because we've kind of run into that with the cult studies. We go into a lot of the people that fall into the dangerous cults. It's purely on emotion, which is I mean, which is good. I mean, that could
It's
be
part of us.
Yeah, that's part of it. It's part of the Holy Spirit, how it works with us. But
then it can also be used in the other direction too.
right.
So
Right.
you said not all religions are bad. I want to maybe get some context to that, because religions, I'm thinking of Buddhism,
Oh,
Muslim,
Yeah. Okay.
and I'm afraid that other people will think
Okay.
that as well. So that, just to add some context, we're not talking other religions are good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the way that was worded, I don't want other people to think that we're
I
saying,
don't
well,
want to, I don't want.
you can just believe
He
whatever.
said the Church of the Devil was good.
Yeah, exactly. So
Freaking
let's,
Satanist.
yeah, I do want to throw some context in
Yeah.
there
Yeah. Thank you for
of
clearing
of
that
how
up for
my
me.
understanding
I
was.
thought,
What
Joey,
you
you
said.
slipping from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's slipping.
You know what?
Yeah.
You can believe whatever, dude.
Yeah, you go for a little G. That's fine.
You go for a little G.
No, definitely not going there. I'm just saying, denominationally,
Yeah.
be open to thinking. And,
Yeah,
you know,
and don't be closed minded about maybe not this one denomination has everything correct. Maybe
Yeah.
there are some things that can be pulled from each one of these, and maybe everybody's got a little bit of the right stuff in there.
Because what if we were always meant to just always be in study? We were never meant to like be 100% correct about the book. We were always supposed to be till death be in study.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate.
I think that's the point.
Yep.
I think that's the point. So when
You're
you get
hitting the
when
nail
you
on the head there.
when you get locked into one denomination,
Like one paragraph of the Bible, it's like that's my entire denomination.
right?
Yeah.
That's where the trouble is.
And we all know somebody like that.
Oh yeah.
And not just us, but just
Mhm.
everybody
Yeah.
knows somebody that, well, right here in this one paragraph,
It says
it
this.
says X.
Yeah. And you can say, but this one says this,
Yes,
and then they like, but it says both
it
Yeah.
does.
for a reason.
It says both for a reason.
Yeah. So you have to disseminate between. And like you said, you just got to be in constant study.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think we're meant to.
Like
ever
every
know.
word you read, you have to put the why, what, who, where, when, what.
Mhm.
You know, you always have to throw that at it because that's what maybe differs from one other part of the Bible is like
Yeah.
the context of the situation of
I
that.
had
And translations.
I had a discussion with somebody yesterday that was not heated. It was
Hmm.
actually a reasonable conversation that
Mhm.
we had. We didn't agree, and I still don't agree with his side, and he doesn't agree with my side.
Mhm.
But because we had that conversation, it made me go and look at what he was saying
Mhm.
and see if there was validity to what he was saying.
Yeah.
I think that the whole point of this show is to have that conversation, get it out in the open, do some
Mhm.
study about it, and see where you actually fall.
Yeah.
Maybe you've grown up in X type of church and
All you know
you've
is
not heard the other side of what that conversation is. Maybe there is another side and you go, well, yeah, it does say that here and it does say this there.
Mhm.
And it can be a yes and situation, I
Yeah.
think, in some situations.
In every episode we've said we're three idiots.
Mhm.
That's why I don't want to label this show as a Christian podcast
Yeah.
or a religion podcast.
I don't
or
want people
a-
taking what we're saying as the gospel, because it's not.
It's not.
We're not. We want everybody to come to the gospel and
Mhm.
to research what we're saying to maybe further your knowledge of the gospel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we're not those guys.
No.
You know what I mean?
This isn't the church podcast.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, we're
We're-
open if you want to talk to us. We're open for that.
Reach out to us.
And I
We're-
love that. Even when somebody disagrees with
Yeah.
us.
Mhm.
The harshest comment we've gotten, it shook me, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
Because
know,
it makes you feel like you're doing something. Like somebody, like resonate is not the word, but somebody felt what you were saying and had a feeling about it.
Yep.
And
Whether
you
that be negative or
Yeah,
positive.
and there was an impact that
Yeah.
created a discussion, which can create a certain outcome.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And not only for those two people having that conflict, us and whoever, but anybody that's around listening.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, we
Exactly.
had we seeked out counsel with people we knew. It was like, hey, this thing happened. This guy said this.
Mhm.
I don't know how to feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of talk it out,
Exactly.
and that's the point.
Yeah.
100% the point,
Mm-hmm.
to dig into it and think about it.
And it's really cool right now to reflect on that moment
yeah.
that happened because of three idiots sitting in a
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool to me to just be
Throwing
like,
out a podcast.
yeah, throwing out just, why don't we, coming from break at work
Yeah.
to being like, we should do this thing. And
Yeah.
it just happened in the way that it did.
Yeah.
So I think that's really awesome.
And I've said it before on a different episode, but I really do think that was this show's calling.
I do too.
It's to talk about everything, all of it.
Yeah.
Religion, the way worldly, half of our content is worldly stuff.
Sure.
Technologically stuff,
Technological.
Thank you.
Yep.
That stuff, and some of it's straight from the Bible, some of it's from other religious texts, some of it's from
Jim
current
Jones.
events, some of it's from past, history.
Sometimes we tell people that we didn't go to the moon, and guess what?
Speaking of the moon, have you looked at that thing lately? It does not look real.
I'm so glad you said that. I noticed that this morning.
No,
What?
don't you like? It does not look real.
It looks different too.
Is it a projector?
It, dude. I just don't get it.
All right, now
I don't get it.
I'm about
We
to.
just entered into the wild conspiracy segment of this show.
I'm just
So-
looking at. I'm like,
I haven't looked at the moon hard enough and be like, oh yeah, that's a fake moon. And I'm not following y'all down
I'm not
that rabbit
saying it's
trail.
fake moon. I'm just saying
We're
I have
going
a
down-
hard
we're going
time
down that trail.
believing. I'm having a hard time believing that thing is up there.
What?
Who
Stole the moon?
I'm not. What if it was never there?
Oh, come on, man. You were a believer in the moon, and now you looked
No,
at it
I
today,
just.
and you're
I
like,
was.
no,
it was a
it's
morning
gone.
thought.
So I'm in the middle because it's weird that you said that. I had that exact same thought this morning.
Yeah.
I was
What's it
I
look
was
like?
driving in, and it was so bright at 7:30 this morning. Yeah, between 7 and 8 o'clock this morning.
Mhm.
And it was so bright, and it looked different.
It looked-
Like the
it
man in the
just-
moon, like you can usually see him. You know what I'm talking about? Like, no,
So
not
you're
the man
saying
in
even the
but just
man in the moon disappeared
not-
somewhere in the stratosphere?
somewhere in the yeah, it did. It did just look different.
Yeah.
And then throw in where we live in the United States, where we never, in my 40-something years, have been able to see the aurora borealis, the northern
Well, that was
lights,
from
and now they're showing up. all
that
of a
was solar
sudden.
flares that were going off. Have you seen all that?
I've also seen weather manipulation.
Why they
That's a
always
thing
for the
Stuff in
past
that they're talking
atmosphere.
about.
ever
Yeah.
since I was a kid, I've always been afraid of solar flares because they always say that they're like world ending.
Yeah. Well, this was the
This
strongest
one was supposed to have been too. Yeah,
This
people-
one was X9, I think, is what they called it, which is the strongest on record. And normally with a solar flare, they're going to be not centered on Earth because the moon or the sun's a big thing, and the Earth is, not necessarily centered to wherever the blast is all the time.
I got you. So it
This
shoots off
one-
into different
Yeah, it
areas.
shoots off in different directions. This was like a shotgun blast to the face, is what they said on this
Really?
one.
Little Kurt Cobain
So then
injection.
we see solar flares from that, or not solar flares, the aurora borealis from that.
Northern Lights.
Yeah,
When's that supposed to
Northern
happen?
Lights. It's already happened.
It's been
Oh,
happening.
dang
Yeah,
it.
it
It's
happened. I
It's
still
happened
haven't
twice
seen
this
it.
year.
Yeah.
And you can only see it if you got your iPhone out and you've got it on a certain filter.
Some people say you can see it anyway.
I've
where-
walked
where
out and
we're
seen
at-
it.
Well, isn't the ozone supposed to protect us from that?
Yeah,
So the
but not from the offshoot colors. I don't think. I mean, that's
I mean the
aurora
actual. I
borealis
mean like
is
the
not a thing.
EMP effect of it.
Of the solar flare.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it did, but
Yeah,
it
'cause
does
nothing
cause
really happened.
it does cause disruptions as far as like maybe your phone didn't work for an hour or two or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is some disruptions that happen,
Gotcha.
but it's not world ending.
Whatever happened to the hole in the ozone? Did they
ozone-
just go away?
Everybody quit using hairspray. You didn't hear about that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they quit using aerosols.
They said it was like I remember like 15 years ago. They said it was a
Oh, yeah.
massive hole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
you
It was
know
like,
where it is.
It's gonna murder. It's gonna kill us.
And
It's
is
at the
everybody-
North Pole and the South Pole, and it's like right above volcanoes. So it's the dumbest thing ever. The ozone's got holes in it. Yes, above a freaking volcano where it's just pooping heat straight into that space.
Pooping heat.
Yeah,
The earth.
I
pooped.
mean, because I feel like that was like a big thing. We're like, we got to watch out for this hole in the atmosphere
Yeah.
because we're gonna
your-
get a solar flare and it's gonna kill us
Yeah.
all.
Put your
climate change
aerosols
too.
away.
Yeah,
The last thing I
climate
saw
change too,
was
so
the last thing I saw was like they said the ozone healed itself.
it does.
Like,
I
what
think-
does that even mean?
I think the earth does heal itself.
It does. I mean, they're talking about Elon's rockets going into space. I was listening to, I guess it probably was Joe Rogan.
Mhm.
They were talking about how, it pokes a hole wherever it goes through.
What?
But in 45 minutes, that thing's already sealed back up.
That is what is going. Is there like gel up there? What is that?
Almost like there's a
like-
higher power that.
It's almost like we were
takes care of us.
designed to be on this on this planet
Yeah.
by
I
a
wonder-
designer.
How do they? Was it like? Is it like
created-
strings that come like fibers that like what? What is it? It's
What
just
the what?
what is up there?
I mean, I
The
don't
sky.
think-
You can jump and you can fly a plane.
It's
Like what do you?
probably not visual, something you can see.
Right.
But, I mean, it's
But it's something thick. It's got to be thick, right? You know what I mean? It can't just be. You know what I mean? I don't.
hey, our planet is thick with 2 C's.
Yeah.
thick boy.
That's right.
I don't get it. I don't believe ozone's not real, dude. That just doesn't make any sense.
Come on, man.
What?
Ozone's not
You're
real.
telling
guys
me? You're telling me you can poke a hole through the ozone, and then it's like, oh, self-healing powers, and it just goes back together. Is it a, what is it? A cloud?
Hey, your skin does it.
It does.
So you saying the Earth is alive?
Yeah.
Yes, of course
It's
it's
got a
alive.
heartbeat.
Yes.
No, I mean, not a
I,
heart.
I think it might.
think so.
Yeah. It's got a core,
Do we know
which
that?
predict
What's in it? Is it hollow?
magma.
Yeah.
Magma.
We've never dug deep enough to even know. We just guess.
Where does a hot spring come from?
I don't know. Volcano?
Yes, which is full of,
I don't. Lava?
which comes from where?
That doesn't have to be from the center though. It could be like the fourth
Okay.
crust.
Maybe it is, but regardless,
It
it's
could be
hot.
a marble in it. I
It's
don't know.
hot.
I like where this is going.
Yeah.
Come on.
Cotter went from biblical truths to the moon's not real.
But you had the same thought, so there's something going on here. You cannot
I
dismiss me right now.
I'm not dismissing you on that.
It feels very
completely.
dismissive, honestly.
I'm
I
actually-
feel
attacked.
dismissed.
No, I
The look
will-
you're giving me is like this dumb.
Dude, okay,
dude.
Look, no, I don't think you're a dumb dude at all. But the
Here we
moon,
go.
He looks at the camera for
Yeah.
that.
but the moon's here, people. It's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes through phases.
Well-
It looks different sometimes.
Well, when it disappears, I'm gonna say I told you so.
You know what? And I will own it 100%. And I'll go, you know what? I was wrong, guys.
Yep.
And this is on me.
I'm just saying. I just had a thought, and yeah.
Does
When
any,
the oceans stop moving.
does any of
the-
this have anything to do with the second moon?
Yeah, that's another thing
a-
people are talking about. I don't know.
And I still haven't
researched
seen it
that.
myself.
Yeah, because it's not
It's
real.
gone.
It
Are you
disappeared.
talking about the thing that was like intercepted and then passed by
Dude,
us?
that's the Death
just didn't
Star.
understand.
That's the Death Star from Star Wars, and it came into our orbit.
Or is it the spaceship that's supposed to take us away
Yeah, there's
that
a-
Applewood was talking about?
Yeah, that's right.
Applewhite, I know I did that on purpose.
You,
I did that on purpose. You said Applewhite.
yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah, you said Applewood in the show.
Has there been any new extraterrestrial things out
Yes,
there?
Ooh,
there is.
I've heard a new theory. One of the shows that I watch on YouTube, it's got crazy stuff that we like to think about on it, so I like watching it. It was talking about the UFOs and the whistleblowers that we're seeing, particularly the one we talked about. Can never remember his name.
It started with a G.
Couldn't even remember it on the show. I'll put a link on it. I'll put a picture up on YouTube. But yeah, all of that is false flags to set us up for a upcoming fake alien invasion
Mm-hmm.
as part of the next scare tactic.
Yeah, so I've heard that one. I've heard that they're gonna fake Jesus coming back. Y'all heard that one?
What?
Yeah,
I
heard
have
that
not
one.
heard that one.
This
And
blows
they
my
were
fake
using
moon out of the
aliens
water.
as that
Who's they?
government, whatever.
That's part of the
one world
UFO thing.
situation. Yeah. I've heard that they're going to fake Jesus coming back, which maybe they're not faking Jesus coming back. Maybe they know something we don't know. But yeah. So they're going to
Oh.
fake Jesus coming back, which if that happens, millions of people just disappear.
Yeah.
How do you handle that on Earth?
Oh, more than
millions
more than millions.
Well, I'm just,
Yeah.
as a number.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You're just throwing out
A
there.
lot,
Okay.
of, lot of people.
I mean, if 1,000 people from where we live just disappear.
True. That
imagine,
would be.
imagine the just absolute panic that would happen.
Yeah.
So
So I don't think that would really coincide with the rapture. I think it would be just a false thing.
tell me what
I
you mean by that.
Like the government trying to control. So my fear is that this situation that you're talking about and the the fake UFO invasion would happen around first week of November.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying it would happen.
I'm
where,
saying it's something in their pocket to use and be like, hey, all these whistleblowers said UFOs are
so
real.
there's also, have y'all thought about this? Who certifies the election?
No.
Congress? I don't know.
No, it's the president of Congress.
Oh,
Who would that be?
what's his face?
Nope. Kamala Harris is the person who has to certify the election.
That's real?
She's the vice president of.
That's right, because Mike Pence. Yeah, I remember now.
She has to certify the election.
So
Yep.
she's going to certify herself?
Which I mean, if you think that this guy is really going to destroy democracy, he is a threat to democracy.
She's
I mean, you
gonna
can't in good
protect the
conscience.
nation by...
You can't in good conscience do that.
Yeah.
He's also a felon. I mean, you're too dumb to vote for who you want to. So I'm going to save the country. So then if she doesn't certify it, guess who becomes president?
No.
Kamala Harris.
Stop.
And
That's
then,
not real.
do you know who her
Where
VP
you
has to
get
be?
this?
Hey, do you know
I read
who
this-
her VP has to be?
Who?
JD Vance.
No, that'd be cool.
No, it wouldn't.
Where do you get this information?
That's not true at all. That would
can't
not be
be.
cool, even legitimately.
Well, I
So
mean,
why didn't Mike Pence do that?
Mike Pence, because he's Mike Pence.
I mean, he could have
Yeah.
been president, right?
No,
no, yeah.
because he
The only
wasn't running
reason,
for
the only
president.
reason
Right.
this situation is working like it is because the current VP is the one that's
Gotcha.
running that was also not elected by the people. Which
I also
is
saw there was
a
a
big problem to me.
Yeah.
there was a
The
chance.
Democratic Party did not get to choose their
Hey,
candidate.
sleeping at
There's-
the top get you there, man.
I saw there is a chance where it could end. The electoral college could end in 269 split down the middle.
How does that work then?
I don't know. I heard that if
It's got to go to a revote then, right?
I would imagine it would.
If the electoral jeez, oh Christ.
Electoral college.
Yeah, those
There it is.
people, if they split, it's got to be set up to where it can't split, right?
It
Yeah, you
can.
can't end like that, right?
Like having an odd number, you
Yeah.
know.
How would that work?
I don't know. I know that it can split. It's
Okay.
it's something with Nebraska. There's because Nebraska their electorals are different than the regular states.
Come
Okay.
on, Nebraska.
Nebraska and Maine, I believe, is the two that do it differently.
Okay.
That's
well,
Interesting.
looking at current trends,
Mm-hmm.
we're looking okay as far as election goes right now.
Mhm.
Now,
You probably guess who we're talking about. But
yeah, I mean, I wonder.
yeah, 3 white dudes in a room. Yeah,
Three
you
white
got, you got us. Hands up.
yeah,
You guilty.
Caught
We're
us.
voting Trump. See?
Guilty.
yeah.
You couldn't tell by the camel jacket and the Bass Pro hat.
We're definitely QAnon guys. We've been all
Yeah.
on it.
Oh, that
But
honeypot.
yes, so looking at voting trends right now and where Vegas is betting, the betting odds are on Trump by 14 points. Last I heard,
The fact that Vegas has a betting line is
But here's the
you
thing,
can
though.
bet on.
that's the most idiocracy.
But here's
thing
the
I've ever
thing,
seen.
though. 2020, it was 90-10, Trump winning 90%.
Yeah, I'm not saying
So,
that
like, that's kind of
Seriously?
yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty significant because Joe Biden, who
Literally didn't leave his
is
house.
the
for-
most voted for president that ever happened. I don't know if y'all
Ever.
knew that. He had 84 million votes. He had the highest votes of anybody ever, which seems like the fakest thing to me ever.
Yeah.
You're talking a dementia-riddled Joe Biden got more votes, but yeah, that'll get us kicked off of YouTube, so I
Yeah.
better stop talking about it. But yeah,
Speaking of, if we do get kicked off YouTube, we're putting all our uncensored stuff on Patreon.
Yep.
yeah, this part may have to be edited out because I've
Yeah.
said something about the.
You
We're
said
gonna-
the V word.
Yeah.
We're going to have to think about this. Well, this episode may get us because we've already said the C word, COVID. We didn't said
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, we're
the
just
moon's not real.
we're literally shooting buzzwords
Yeah.
with a shotgun against the wall.
Yeah. It's not even spaghetti anymore.
Yeah,
it's just
not
12
even
gauge.
spaghetti.
So yeah, so that was a quick plug. Yeah, Patreon's where
Yep.
our unedited stuff's going to be.
And if you want to really support us,
and support the show, $2 a month, not too bad.
$2 a month. Talk to us. Shoot us a chat. We'll sit and we need to set a night that we get on and just like gonna have a chat night.
yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody get on a day that ends in Y, and we'll
Yeah.
just make it up.
we
But
got to get her
Yeah.
following up a
Mhm.
little more
yeah,
first.
but yeah, we
The
that's
two
why
people might get bored talking to each other.
they might
Yeah.
not though. Maybe they're gonna
Yeah,
just
Maybe we're
hash
just
it out.
waiting. Yeah,
But yeah, we'll get on and have chat nights and
Mm-hmm.
discuss
cool.
different topics.
that would be cool.
So let me throw that just back onto the political thing.
Mhm.
What do you think the outcome? I mean, Let's say Kamala wins. How do you think the nation responds to that?
I like how pained your face was when you said that.
So
yeah,
I think nothing
about
changes.
it. Okay, nothing changes.
Nothing changes from today.
Okay, I agree.
I think the other happens. Things change.
You think Trump wins, stuff gets
Things
a little
change.
different.
Yeah.
Like violent?
We've got evidence of that.
Like violent?
Yeah, we've got evidence of that happening. So.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They're now the left is gonna throw up January 6th. Of course, they're going to throw January 6th up and go, well, no, look what you guys did, y'all. So I mean, that's where they would.
Let's say Kamala wins. Do you think there's another false flag like Jan 6 was? But bigger.
I don't know.
Or a 2020 situation.
What are you talking about? Or COVID?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about a COVID situation?
Yeah.
We've already said it. I mean, might as well say it again.
And I don't even think that was an American conspiracy because obviously it hit worldwide. But I do think it was handled in a way. It was handled.
We were the leaders
because of the current
whatever.
Politics. Yeah.
We dictated what the world did.
Yep.
So, but I think it would be more on the lines of if something was to happen, I think that there would be a false flag of some kind because there's no way that many people are going to be voting for Kamala Harris. I mean, from what I've watched of her, I have more faith in you people. I really do.
Yeah.
It's not that Trump's that great. It's just that she's that bad.
Yeah.
She's just that bad. And I just don't think that you guys are that dumb. I really don't.
You know who I think the difference maker in this election is?
J.D. Vance.
Yep.
He is. Well, I think the other difference maker is Tim Walz because he's equally as dumb.
The other way. Yeah. So, I don't think anybody likes either.
Yeah.
If you have two of them, I don't say anybody. I can't say everybody. I think there's a lot of people, including myself, that would rather have a different candidate.
Like a VP?
No, I'm a presidential candidate.
Okay.
I do wish there was another option.
I don't necessarily. I really like Trump. I really do. I think he's bombastic and he says things a lot of times where you're like, I wish you'd stop that.
Yeah.
Because you just see the setup that he's given himself. He's setting himself up for them to just fire at him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
But policy-wise, I don't think we've had a better president ever.
And what I'm afraid of is, like, I always think about that, what you're saying, but, like, I can't think of anybody else.
J.D. Vance is the only one that I could.
I'm fired
but you didn't know that until, I mean, none of us did. I didn't know anything about that guy. Now I know. Yeah, now I know a lot about him. But the also
thing is, like, how do we know who's bought and paid for?
Yeah, like if he's bought and paid for.
We're going to know in 4 years when this is over if Trump makes it. We'll know in 4 years where he actually stands.
Yeah,
I had a good feeling about Mike Pence when we started with him, and then I went, ooh, this guy's garbage. Okay.
Same for me with Cruz. I was a Cruz fan. For
I still like Cruz, but he's
a little soft.
I like him.
He is soft.
I feel like he's bought and paid for.
When I always say that you can vote your conscience in the primary. You can't vote your conscience once it gets to the main election. You got to pick the lesser of two evils at that point. In the primary, 2016 primary, I voted for Ted Cruz because my conscience was he's the better option.
I think I was Ben Carson that year.
He was a great one too.
Yeah, I was solid Ben Carson.
We had a really good slate of people during that time, I think.
Yeah, this last one felt weird. There was not a good.
It's just a bunch of Romneys up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was not a good selection.
A bunch of rhino Republicans, man, that I'm not a fan of.
It's like, how do we know? These people are in that system for so long. It's like there's no way. I mean, I can look at them and tell like who's been in the system for a long time. They're just so clean.
That's what I like about JD. That's what I like about JD's. He's so fresh.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been in.
And he's the first millennial to be running in that kind of position.
Millennial?
I think he's the first millennial.
I guess so. He's not much older.
Well, do y'all know anything about his backstory?
Yeah.
I mean, this dude grew up.
It's a solid movie.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't watched the movie, but I mean, I've just heard his backstory. This dude grew up dirt poor.
Mm-hmm.
His mom was
grew up middle class.
Dang, he's younger than me.
He didn't grow up middle class. His mom was some kind of addict. It was drug addict of some kind.
I think she was opioid addict.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she was a drug addict. He ended up living with his grandmother.
Yep.
And she raised him basically.
Mm-hmm.
But he did the thing that the left hates to say. He pulled himself up by his bootstraps and went to Yale and was a Marine. And I mean, he's got a whole list of really solid attributes.
Yeah. He's only 40 years old. So
yeah.
I don't see.
How you feeling about DeSantis? You still got hope in DeSantis?
He's killing it in Florida right now.
Yeah, I like
I mean,
DeSantis.
look at his response to the recent hurricane.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even hear about it because it was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
So
we
do you
got
think
that.
he should stay in Florida, or do you think one day he'll have his time to
I
shine?
think he's got his chance. I think he's got a time. I
What
think
about a JD Vance DeSantis ticket?
man,
Dude.
you are making liberals weep as you say that.
That would be solid.
Yeah.
Imagine the debates.
Oh yeah,
Good night.
it would just be, it would be crazy.
We need Hunter Biden to run on the Democratic side.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I do got to say that about this campaign season right now is I've enjoyed the debates more than any time I've ever.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed the VP debate. I did not enjoy the other debate very well.
Yeah, that one's.
With old earring speakers, Kamala.
Did that go anywhere?
Yeah,
She's still wearing the exact same earrings.
she's wearing the earrings.
She had them on during the Fox interview.
The company actually came out and said, "Yep, that looks pretty similar to ours."
No,
they said
didn't.
we're working on making some for a guy now.
No, they did.
They said Donald Trump hit us up.
some gauges.
They said that.
No
they
way.
said Donald Trump hit us up.
Dude.
So they're not
So
denying
then
that it's real.
So let me pivot
That
off.
could be.
Let's explain what we're talking about. We know
Yeah.
what we're talking about. Everybody else
Yes.
don't. During the debate, she was extremely polished. You watch any of her interviews.
Go watch the recent Fox interview,
Yeah,
man. It
she
was
is
bad.
shook. And she went in that interview and killed it. She really did. I hate to say it, but she did.
She
The
did
The
have
debate,
people-
the debate or the interview?
The debate.
Okay.
debate.
Yeah,
she
the,
was
the
very-
interview she
yeah.
the interview she bombed.
Yeah.
The debate against Trump she killed it.
Yep.
The conspiracy is that her earrings look a whole lot like a set of
Bluetooth
earrings
speakers.
that that are Bluetooth speakers where someone can talk to them.
Yeah.
And they actually make them. I looked them up myself. That's real. Like
Yeah.
you can get a set of earrings that are Bluetooth speakers.
So let me pivot off that. What's up with Obama?
Yeah,
Why is he
getting
still
involved?
sticking around?
Have y'all seen the Stephen Colbert interview he did right as he was coming out of his presidency?
Yeah, he was like, if I could just sit in my basement, my PJs on, and be the man behind the
If I
screen.
could just have a little Bluetooth earpiece where I could just be the guy that's talking to him,
What?
I would.
He
I
said
would
that.
go for a third term. You
I
haven't seen
wonder
that?
why they do all that stuff, like say it like out in public as a joke. I wonder if it's for their conscience. Maybe make it better for them to be lying about it. If they
Yeah.
just say it out loud instead of hiding it. You know what I mean?
It's possible.
And like, I mean, Obama is in everything.
And if you look, I mean, he's tied in the Biden stuff. I mean, he's the guy that's running the puppets.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody says
He's
it.
literally campaigning for Kamala. He's literally going places and campaigning. It's
And
like,
they do that anyway.
But-
well, I mean, what
They
about
do, but-
Bush? Where's Bush?
Bush is he's actually probably with Kamala. Bush is not the.
And he's-
He's not the.
And Trump's a different level.
Yeah,
Trump's
he don't need that.
yeah. Well, he don't need that, but
He wouldn't take it
he's
anyway.
Not. Yeah, he's not part of the
Yeah,
system.
that club. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
the
Cheney's-
Bohemian Groves of the
Cheney's
world.
with Kamala.
Yeah.
I mean, and she's going out ranting about it to
Yeah.
everybody. Well, I've got Dick Cheney. It's like
Yeah.
people
He's
like
a
me.
Dirty
You-
dude.
That is not going to flip me to you.
No,
He's
that's
a-
Oh, Dick
the
Cheney,
opposite.
old
He's a
shotgun blast to
dirt-
the face. Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
he shot somebody. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it wasn't on purpose. It was a bird
Oh,
shot.
it was a hunting accident.
It was a hunting accident.
That's
Yeah, he shot somebody with a bird
right.
shot.
Yeah. There's a
Killed him?
No,
Oh, dang it.
There's
if
a
you
bit-
killed somebody with bird shot, you did something.
Let's see the Alec Baldwin of politics.
He did kill somebody.
Too soon.
No, it's not.
There's a movie about Dick Cheney called Vice,
Mm-hmm.
and if 20% of that movie is 100% is accurate,
60% of the time it works every
90%
time.
of the time you make up say, if any of that movie is accurate,
Yeah.
Dick Cheney is a dirty dog.
He's a dirty dude.
dirty. The movie indicated that he ran Bush's presidency.
Yeah.
From the sidelines as not what we thought we was voting in.
Yeah. I believe that.
I mean, Bush wasn't really that. I mean, him talking, you can
Yeah.
tell ain't not much going on there.
That's what they. That's
Fool
what,
me once, shame on you. Fool me
that's what they-
twice.
That's what they was getting at.
nuclear.
Now watch me hit this ball.
Watch me hit this drive.
Yeah.
Now that was a cool.
That was
a
great.
cool statement. He did.
Yeah.
He was
That
the right president at the right time. I think that Bush did look very presidential. He played the part very well
Yeah.
during 9/11. I mean, he was a good. Now it was a
There's
good
a-
way to get that Patriot Act in there, though.
That's like saying
Yeah.
there's a lot of conspiracies that come out of it too. That
And that's its own few episodes right there.
Yeah, it
Sam and or one of
Alluded to.
our guests. Yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
alluded to that being a thing, and we may tackle that one.
That's a big one.
That was a touchy one. That one will pull some heartstrings.
It will. I mean, that was
That's gonna hurt some feelings.
I was incredibly young when it happened, but I still remember it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Speaking of that, do you think there's another imminent large attack on U.S. soil looming?
They're talking about
from a outside source.
They're talking about it right now pretty heavy with everybody that's coming in the border.
Yeah.
And they're not coming from
just from the south.
They're not coming just from Mexico. They're coming from all over the world.
Yeah. And there's not really anybody on the radar right now, is there? I mean, with what's going on in Israel right now.
Iran is.
Yeah.
I mean,
because they're sending people like crazy.
Iran, they have enough money to pay for proxies and things like that, to send people over, come to the border, meet up, get supplies.
They've got all of that because of our current presidential situation. We gave them how many billions of dollars? 200 and something billion that they're using to shoot rockets straight into Israel right now.
Yeah, and if they can do that, they can send people over and collect goods.
Yeah.
We are basically a proxy of Iran with how we did that. I mean, we're helping Israel, but we gave money to Iran, and Iran is funding separate proxies to then attack Israel and also send their own missiles over. And then they're also tied with Russia, and Russia's giving them all the... I mean, it's crazy. The web of just everybody that's tied together.
It's just dirty.
Did y'all see we killed the... was it Hamas leader yesterday?
We did, or Israel did?
Israel did. I think we were helping in that run.
Is that going to actually do anything though?
Well, just wait.
Okay.
Did you see who his bodyguard was? The Hezbollah or Hamas leader was?
No.
It was a UN agent.
Ooh.
And it tracks. They got his passport, tracks all the way back. So the Hamas leader bodyguard, which also died, was tied to the UN. So probably sent from the UN.
Interesting.
As like to defend him or know where he's at all times.
I don't know. He died the same time he did. So I mean, could have been a psyop. But
the conspiracy theorist in me worries about a one world government. Where does all of this play in that?
Don't you think we're already in one?
I mean, the UN is
NATO, UN.
I think there's enough separation right now that it's not.
When we get
into single currency systems, and
they're talking about it.
They've been talking about it for years.
Digital currency they're talking about now, because the dollar is pretty weak compared to what it used to be. Yeah. And the dollar is pretty much the world currency. So dollar gets weak, then you got to do something to actually build a currency.
And you've got one coming up, BRICS. It's still in the work.
What's BRICS?
Brazil, Russia, Iran, and China.
Ooh.
They're creating their own system.
Yep.
Like a separate UN.
Like they're
a separate currency, like a world currency.
They're going currency.
They're going to go against the dollar, which is not good. Since our dollar is not based on anything.
Have we ever seen a country in our lifetime change a currency?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. That may be another.
Yeah. I wonder.
Write it down. That's a good one.
BRICS, BRIC.
Yeah. BRICS, BRIC.
Yeah. It's been a few years, but I mean, it's going to take time. But the fact they're even doing it.
We're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well, they're not just thinking about it, they're doing it. I mean, at this point, they're pulling this is not the dollar anymore. We're not using that.
I think the only thing holding up the U.S. dollar right now is Saudi Arabia.
And oil. Yeah. Oil is pretty much holding it.
Yeah. And if Trump gets in, we've got all that untapped resources. It could make the dollar.
Could make it boom.
Make it worth its weight in gold.
So if our gross domestic product was better, it would strengthen the dollar.
Yeah. At this point, what are we giving to the world?
Right. Yeah. We could supply the whole world with oil. And you know what that looks like? Would be Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
We'd be balling.
Yeah, those suckers get paid.
They have so much money they don't even know what to do with it. They're making islands.
See Lambos just sitting on the side of the road.
There's freaking what are they called? Scrap yards full of supercars.
Yeah.
And they can't leave Saudi Arabia because of some kind of thing they have.
Yeah.
They can't leave the country. So they just stack them up in this place, and there's like 1-for-1 cars just rotting.
Yeah. I've seen that myself. I worked in Afghanistan a while ago, and we went through Kuwait, and I'd see Audis just sitting on the side of the road. And I'm like, what the crap is going on with the car just sitting on the side of the road? And they say they've got so much money that they would, if the car breaks down, they just leave it and go buy another one.
Yeah.
And it was just easier just to leave it there and let somebody else deal with it.
Think how crazy it is that you have all of this money and you still wear a tablecloth on your head and a dress. That's how far back they are. That they're still like, you know what? Give me a white dress and a tablecloth.
You would think if they were smart, they would just leave that desolate place.
Well, no, because that's where all their old is.
True.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to.
But would you
that.
have to live there next to it though?
Probably not. But I mean, at that point,
you see all the islands they made are like
in such luxury. Who cares?
Yeah.
All of those fancy islands they made like over like 10, 15 years are just sinking into the ocean.
Oh, no. And they're like, build another one.
Build another one.
That's fine.
Yeah.
They don't even have running like in their biggest building. What's it called? Their tallest building there.
I know what you're talking about.
They don't have running. They don't have running sewer, so they literally have trucks every day come in to grab the poop.
Just shovel the poop out.
Yes.
Why would they not have a sewer?
I don't know.
They just hadn't figured that part out.
I guess not.
I ain't even going to try to pronounce it. The Burj Khalifa.
Yep.
Burj Khalifa? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like it's Wiz Khalifa's brother.
It's so tall that you can watch the sunset, go to the top of the building, and watch it again.
That's crazy.
Yep. Super cool. Y'all ready to wrap this thing up?
Let's get it.
I think we've talked about everything from front to back, the Bible to pending into the world and the government.
To Kamala Harris, which could be tied in all of it.
Yeah.
But,
Is she the AC? Nah. She ain't smart.
She ain't smart enough for that.
Yeah, somebody else is pulling them strings.
Yep.
ShroudedRealities.com. Go check it out. Links to all our stuff. We're on everything right now. YouTube's banging right now. YouTube's being our place. But yeah, check it out.
Just show support.
Don't forget about the t-shirt, the drawing we're going for. Hit that up. But for Ruby, Steven, Connor, and Joey.
See ya.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.